Hello guys and girls, Voices from the Dark here. Welcome back to Steins where Okabe has made his choice, or so it seems. We are ready to sacrifice Kurisu in order to save our dear Mayuri. We just returned to the lab after the whole wet incident at Radio Kaikon. We have a mail from Christina. Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. You're gonna send me quotes now? I'm going back to my hotel. Do what needs to be done. Good night. Do I not have a picture of Kurisu I can put as my wallpaper? I miss her. Yeah. Let's get Sarah. Her voice actor in the dub, I watched the first episode of Chaos Head, because this is from Chaos Head, I do believe, is actually the same voice actor that plays Mayuri, which is kind of cool. Sounds like it, at least. Well, regardless. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Kurisu's already gone when I get there. All she left is a single email. And now somebody calls me. I sit down on the sofa. While drying my hair with a towel, I look towards the PC in the corner of the room. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Daru to start hacking. I already got in touch with him. The hacking starts tomorrow at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Daru. Now I can't turn back, no matter how much I want to. I chose Mayuri. I will let Kurisu die. Showering didn't soften the wrenching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Kurisu's resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder, is this really okay? Really? Anyone here? Mayuri opens the door and enters. For a moment after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears. But that quickly gives way to a smile. It's Ocarin! What's up? Oh, nothing. Just decided to stop by. I swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Mayuri. But I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Mayuri doesn't need to know. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the beta worldline. You know, I haven't talked much with Ocarin lately. But you know, I don't want to be a burden on Ocarin. Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Kurisu is sacrificing for her sake? Did you take a shower? Mayuri moves behind the sofa, grabs the bath towel on my head and starts rubbing my hair dry. You smell good, like shampoo. I didn't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose into my hair and starts sniffing. Stop that! I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair. You know, I didn't go to Kamima today. Why? I was thinking about Ocarin. When I got to Ariake, I remembered how sad you looked, and then I thought I shouldn't be having fun at Kamima. So I turned around and came all the way back. Oh. Sorry for making you worry. That's... Should I tell her? Or should I keep her in the dark? You know, I haven't talked much with Ocarin lately. Maybe Mayushi getting a little lonely. Mayuri, how would you feel if I said I was keeping a secret from you? You mean like Ocarin and Christian are actually dating? Where did that come from? Ocarin and Christian get along really well, right? I think you two are meant for each other. No, it's nothing like that. Oh, okay. You don't have to tell me everything if you don't want to. Besides, it's normal to keep secrets from your hostage. This isn't the time for that. That's... Mayuri's hand leaves my head. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I meant to. Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden. Again. So I'll wait until Okurin's ready to tell me. Just like I said yesterday, remember? And if I decide to never tell you? Well, I'd be curious. Really curious. But is that what you want? Even if my secret involves you? Mayushi? I haven't told you because I don't want to hurt you. Is that why Okurin looks so sad all the time? That's... then I do want to know. I don't like it when Okurin's sad. Even if it means you might get hurt? Mayuri replies. With a gentle smile. Yeah. She nods without any hesitation. Her smile is so sincere, it strikes me speechless. Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden. When Mayushi was sad because of what happened to Granny, Okurin took Mayushi hostage, remember? That's why Mayushi always thought that whenever Okurin's sad, she could lend her strength to him, you know? Mayushi might not be useful, though. Useful? Suddenly, I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me, and her last words were, "Finally, Mayushi was useful to Okurin." So this is what she meant. I don't want to see you hurting. Very well. If that's how she feels, I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me. Take a seat. Mayuri does as she's told. Can I get some snacks? This is serious, remember? Oh, right. Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap. Okay, ready. Everything I'm about to tell you is true. It's related to those dreams you had. I plan to sacrifice one of our friends for your sake. Huh? Okurin? Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and takes her chin in my fingers. A switch is already flipped inside of me. You will soon regret your curiosity, my dear, for the deeds of the great Hoyoyin Kyuma are many and terrible. And so I begin, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. I start with the first raid on the lab. I tell Mayuri how Moeka killed her. Next I tell her about Susua and fairies, about Lukaku, Moeka, FB and Nei. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally, I tell her about Kurisu. By sacrificing Makisa Kurisu, I will embark upon a journey to a glorious new world. There was a lot to explain, and Mayuri kept asking questions, desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late. And that is the plan, most grand and devious, of the insane mad scientist Hoyoyin Kyuma. I call it Made in Heaven. Finally, it's over. That's... Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second. What's the matter? That's... Mayuri shakes her head and bites her lip. The whole time you and Christian were hurting, Mayushi was making costumes, like nothing was wrong. I feel so stupid. I didn't know anything. Of course you didn't. That's how I planned it. Are you disappointed in me, Mayuri? Sorry, but this is who I am. I will do anything, sacrifice anyone to accomplish my goals. Whether you like it or not, you're coming with me to the Beta Worldline. You're my hostage, and you have no say in the matter. Let chaos descend upon the world. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets to her feet and lurches towards the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist. Where are you going?
I need to see Christian. Please, Ocarin, I have to talk to her.
Dots. There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request. Oh. I contacted Kurisu. We arranged to meet on the UPX overpass at 4:30 in the morning. I was wondering why she wanted to meet so early, but I understand once I see her. She's dragging a large suitcase.
Thanks for coming to see me off.
She faces us with a smile. Does that suitcase mean what I think it does?
Oh, yeah, it does.
You're going back to America. Kurisu nods.
I was supposed to go back at the beginning of the month, but then I ran into a certain mad scientist and ended up staying longer than planned. There's nothing else I can help you with anyway, and I don't want to be a liability.
Dots. Is she doing this for me? Or is she trying to outrun her fear? It's not my right to stop her. Even if I did, it wouldn't change anything. Today, as planned, I will crack Steins' database and move to the beta worldline. I've made my decision. Mayuri's next to me, standing still with her head hung.
That's... What's wrong, Mayuri? You feeling sick?
I gently nudge her back. Come on, Mayuri.
That's...
She takes one step, pauses for a second, then leaps on Kurisu with a cry.
Christian!
Whoa, what's going on?
Mayuri doesn't want Christian to disappear.
Kurisu hears the desperate plea in Mayuri's voice. She gives me a look that asks, "Did you tell her?" I silently nod.
You can't disappear. Not for Mayuri, okay?
Mayuri?
Mayuri doesn't want to live if Christian has to die.
I expected Mayuri might say that. It's absolutely essential that I remain firm. I feel bad for Kurisu, but it needs to be said. This is the way it has to be. I chose you, Mayuri. You have an obligation to live. Pain stabs through my heart. These words are reprehensible. Kurisu and I made a pact. She agreed to trade her life for yours. If that sacred covenant is broken, this world is doomed. I clench my fists to suppress my self-loathing. What you said wasn't half wrong, though. Don't put Kurisu's feelings to waste, Mayuri.
But...
Thank you, Mayuri. Kurisu wraps her arms around Mayuri's back, returning the hug. But this was my decision too. I'm okay with it, really. Occupy loves you, you know?
What?
What are you saying? It's true, isn't it? She gives me a mischievous smile. It would make him really sad if you died. You don't want it to be sad, do you?
But if Christian goes away, it'll make Mayuri sad.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad too. But this was going to happen eventually. I had to go back to America sooner or later. So even if you move to another world line, just think of me as being in America. It's practically the same thing.
That's not the problem. I don't want Christian to disappear. Let's stop this, okay? Don't make Christian disappear.
Kurisu separates from Mayuri and gazes straight into her face. You have to listen to us now, Mayuri. She uses a gentle tone, as if speaking to a child. Then she lightly bumps Mayuri on the head. Okay, bae. Don't ever let go of her again. I know.
Well, I'm off.
Thank God I'll never have to see your silly face again. She punctuates her insult with a smile. She's so cheerful now, a far cry from the shivering girl in the dark. To see her like this breaks my heart. I'm sorry. I repeat the words in my heart again and again, begging for forgiveness. Kurisu turns to go.
Don't go, Christian. Please don't go.
Don't follow me, she shouts over her shoulder. Mayuri freezes. I don't want pity. It will only make it worse. This is my decision. Nothing you can say will change my mind.
That's...
Goodbye. Promise me, Mayuri. Promise me you'll find happiness. With that, Kurisu walks away. Early morning Akihabara, well before sunrise. The trains are just starting to run. She disappears into the station, dragging her suitcase behind her, alone. Mayuri falls to her knees, her face streaked with tears. As I approach, I hear her voice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You've nothing to apologize for. This was my decision, and mine alone. Kurisu will disappear, for I chose not to save her. I chose to bring chaos to the world. You can't forgive me, can you, Mayuri? Then hate me. But even then, you're staying with me to the end. I have chosen. To save you, I will let Kurisu die. So hate me, loathe me, curse my name. But I will not turn back. Nobody can stop me now. Mayuri slowly stands up. Then she buries her face into my chest, just like she did to Kurisu.
Okurin? Tell me how you really feel.
How I really feel? Mayuri looks straight up into my eyes.
I want to know what's in your heart. Your honest feelings. Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden anymore.
You're not a burden. How can you think that? This is about me. Because I want to save you. Because I can't bear to lose you.
Yeah. Thank you, Okurin. Thank you.
Mayuri tries her hardest to smile through her tears. And then, once again, she buries her face into my chest.
I've been having scary dreams lately. In those dreams, you always try to save me. They weren't dreams, were they? You were fighting to save Mayushi, weren't you? Okurin? You know, Mayushi loves you. Mayushi can smile every day because you're there for me. Can we be together from now on, too?
Of course. I answer Mayuri with my embrace. How can you ask that? I don't want to be apart from you either.
Yeah. Mayushi will find happiness. Just like I promised Christian.
Yeah.
Let's be happy together.
We will.
Never let go of me.
I won't.
Let me love you forever.
Of course. The radiance of the rising sun pours out between the buildings. Daybreak. As the sky grows brighter, we remain in our embrace, as if to reassure each other that we are still here. The time has come. We will now commence the final phase of Operation Worthandi. Mayuri and Daru turn to me and nod. Today is the last day of Kamima. Daru wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. I take a look around the lab. These 20 days have seen constant change. It's incredible to think that at one point, this lab had a whole 8 members. And now we're back to 3. The memories we made. The experiences we shared. To save Mayuri, I will undo them all. There is sorrow in me, and guilt. I engrave them deep inside my heart. I'll never forget, I mustn't forget, these long yet short summer days. But still, I choose to erase our memories. I choose to return everything to normal. Sua's mission is irrelevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mayuri lives, nothing else matters. Daru, you may begin.
You sure? Yeah. Okie dokie. Daru starts typing on the IBM 5100. It's already connected to his main computer. This will get us into CERN's central database where they keep the data they mine with Echelon. There we will locate the first D-mail I sent on July 28th and erase all traces of its existence. With this, I can reach the beta worldline. At last, Mayuri will be safe. I look at Mayuri. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod, with her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear. She stays still, with her eyes closed. Whenever Mayuri wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Ever since we parted with Kurisu, Mayuri has said nothing about my choice. I guess she has come to terms with it, in her own way. The actual work, I left to Daru, no problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walk into the development room. In the center of the room is a time leap machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I made irreplaceable friends because of this thing. Because of this thing, I've hurt them. But I don't want to blame the tool. It's how you use the tool that matters. And I gotta admit, it saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the time leap machine. We must never make the same mistakes again. Okurin, I found it! It's really there! The D-mail I sent? It's there? It sure is, man! Daru points to a string of characters. My name is there, followed by the message I wrote about Kurisu's death. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. This data led CERN to our doorstep. At FB's instruction, Moeka and the Rounders attacked. If Sesua is right, then by erasing this data, we will escape from Attractor Field Alpha, where CERN dominated the future. That will take us to Attractor Field Beta, to the Beta worldline within its range of convergence, to a future without Mayuri's death. Mayuri is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly. Okurin. It's okay. She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down. Everything's set. One press of the enter key and that data's gone. Daru stands up and gestures to the open seats. I'll leave that honor to you, Okurin. I sit down and face the keyboard. Wow, we've come such a long way. We're about to reverse everything back to how it was at the beginning of the game. It's so strange, like nothing happened. Although we'll retain all of our memories, I wonder if the others too will have like deja vu memories of this. Well. This time, it ends. Kurisu's face floats through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Kurisu. I slowly raise my right hand and extend my index finger. Victory is at hand! Daru twitches at my cry. With unimaginable brilliance and unwavering conviction, I have defeated our vast and powerful enemy, and now stand triumphant on the field of Ragnarok. I give thanks to the comrades whose sacrifice made this victory possible. One press of this key, and Kurisu will die. I firmly grip my coat at the shoulder, where it has been stitched together with a jagged, pink thread. The coming worlds is the world I wished for. I wish for Mayuri to live, and Kurisu to die. That is the truth, and I must never forget it. This is the choice of Steins Gate. This is the choice of Okibe Rintaro. Elsai Kongru! Let the world be reborn! I swing down my finger and strike the enter key.
Holy shit, we got past 1% convergence! What? Say, what? Now thing is, we're on the 17th of August, and the last time... That means that there's been like 19 days or so. 19-20 days since we originally sent the mail, meaning there's been like 20 days where we don't know exactly what's happened. So we probably have some questions to ask here. After a while, the spinning stops and color gradually returns to the worlds. Reading Steiner activated. The world line has changed. I look around the room. Next to me is Daru. Behind me is Mayuri. I reach out to her and she takes my hand with a smile. Everything is where it should be. It looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat's shoulder, where Kurisu fixed a torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, uneven from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head to the development room. Underneath the table, the time leap machine. No, that's not the time leap machine. That's the phone wave. That's the phone wave, named subject to change. The upgrades Kurisu made are gone. Nothing has changed. This world is exactly the same. In all respects, save one. Kurisu was never here. I thought that I was prepared for this. But now that I'm face to face with the cruel consequences of my decision, I feel powerless, defeated. I want to cry.
What's wrong, Okurin?
Mayuri runs up and grabs my arm. Say, Mayuri.
Yeah? Who was Lab Mem 004 again?
I need to ask, even though I know what the answer will be.
004? But Okurin, there's only 3 Lab Mems, remember? Okurin, Mayushi, and Daru-kun.
That's... The tears come. I crumple to my knees and cover my face with my hands. Yeah, right. Our lab doesn't have a 4th member. It never did. Her existence was rejected by the worlds.
Okurin? Something really sad happened, didn't it?
Mayuri rubs my back.
Mayushi is here for you, Okurin.
I embrace Mayuri. I stifle my voice and cry.
Okurin, don't cry.
Please don't leave me, Mayuri. Please, stay by my side. Forever. Mayuri tenderly strokes my head.
Mayushi will always be with you. Always. Just like this.
All trace of Kurisu's existence has vanished. This proves that I return to my original world line. This is the world I struggled to reach. The world Susua traveled through time to create. A world where the future is free. Nothing has changed. And yet, this is my utopia. I would assume that you would call that the Mayuri ending. And I would assume what seems like the most proper ending, although I guess all the endings are supposed to be valid endings. Like, if I had to make the choice, but like, I would probably also go with Mayuri instead of Kurisu. Simply because of the future becomes a dystopia factor of the whole thing. So, yeah. Not a bad ending though. Not a bad ending. I quite enjoyed it. But there are actually 2 more endings. I believe that would be the Kurisu ending and the Moeka ending. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to obtain them, but I have some clues. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're approaching the end of the game. Like, I think this is the most proper ending. I'm not sure, but there's not a lot left now. It's been such a wild adventure, and it's crazy to think that we went all the way back to where it started, and like it's trippy. It's trippy stuff, but it was a good journey. It was a real good journey. Well, we saved Mayuri. Mission complete. I still wish that there was another way. That they both could live. The night of the 17th passed. The night of the 18th passed. And Mayuri still didn't die. I've kept a close watch for 3 days since then. There have been no attacks, no accidents, no sign that anything might happen. That was enough to convince me that Mayuri is safe. Together with Daru, I destroyed the phone wave in the IBN 5100. Although we have lost the ability to send emails, that is a small price to pay to stay below CERN's radar. Tanushi is downstairs in the Brontu workshop, watching TV on the 42-inch CRT like always. When I went to check out Radio Kaikon, I found it open for business as usual. A search of the internet turned up no mention of a satellite crash. Instead, I found a small article in the local section of a newspaper, dated July 28th. It was a report on Kurisu's murder. There was no follow-up. The culprit is still at large. According to Daru, the police questioned me several times. It was I who discovered the body, after all. Of course, I don't remember any of that. At any rate, Mayuri is still alive. I've accomplished what I set out to do. It's over.
Ocarin!
Mayuri emerges from the ticket gate, waving her hand as she runs my way. She weaves through the gaps between shoppers and maids, handing out leaflets, and when she gets to me, she looks at me with puppy dog eyes. Why are you crying?
That's...
Mayuri doesn't answer. She just strokes my cheek. Gently. Silently. She's crying, but she doesn't seem sad. Rather, she seems overcome with emotion.
Ocarin came to pick me up. You waited for Mayushi. I'm so happy.
Don't get so happy over every little thing. Mayuri wipes away... I don't know what that laugh was. Mayuri wipes away her tears, making room for her shy, innocent smile.
So, Mayushi class changed from hostage to girlfriend, right?
Indeed. I have no idea how to respond to such an embarrassing question. But she's right. Mayuri and I are officially a couple. After these long, painful 20 days, I finally noticed how important Mayuri is to me. Plus, she told me that she loved me.
Thank goodness. It wasn't just a dream.
Let's get going already. I'm gonna die standing in this damn heat. I start walking without waiting for Mayuri's response.
But the lab's hot too, isn't it?
At least we got a fan. Besides, I'm thirsty. I gotta get my daily dose of Dr. P. It's Sunday. Despite the heat, I see plenty of shoppers laden with bags enjoying themselves on the streets of Akiba. I suddenly feel a void in my heart. Nothing about this town has changed. Yet it feels like something is missing from my life. No doubt it's the gap that was left by Kurisu. But there's no such thing as a perfect future. That is a fantasy that nobody can realize. I mustn't forget. This is the future I wished for, fought for, and won. I have what is most important to me, Mayuri. I should be thankful for that. I am blessed far beyond the common man.
I look beside me and realize that Mayuri is not there. I turn around, but she's not there either. Mayuri? She's gone. She's always like this. Sometimes she just wanders off. Anxiety seizes my heart. Mayuri promised she would never leave me. This worldline is worthless without her. Mayuri! I shout her name at the top of my lungs. I search for her in the crowd, but it's too thick to see. Mayuri! Over here! I turn around to see Mayuri running towards me. In her hands is shaved ice.
You said it was hot, remember? I thought it'd be nice to eat something cold.
Don't scare me like that! I feel so relieved. I want to embrace that small body of hers, but we're in public, so I stop myself. I take the shaved ice and hold my empty hand out to Mayuri. Hold my hand.
Okay.
Mayuri takes my hand. Her slender fingers intertwine with mine. Let's save the shaved ice when we get to the lab. It's too hard to eat while walking.
But won't it melt?
If it melts, it melts.
Oh, well I guess you're right. We can't eat it if we're holding hands anyway.
I won't let go. I won't ever let you go.
Mayuri won't let go either.
Mayuri puts just a little more strength into her grip. Love for her fills my heart. Suddenly, Mayuri looks up at Radio Kaikan.
Oh, Corinne? Is it possible to dream when you're awake?
When you're awake? You mean a daydream?
Is that what it's called? You're so smart. I don't know who it was, but Mayuri feels like she had a very important friend.
What?
And whenever I think about that important friend, my heart hurts. Like, yeah, you know? And sometimes I hear a voice.
A voice?
The voice tells me to find happiness.
All of that was undone. I erased those memories. Sacrificed them.
I wonder if that voice is the reason Mayuri is with Ocarin now.
Perhaps everybody remembers their experiences from other world lines. Those memories may be vague and tenuous, but they're there. They speak to us in the form of dreams, visions, and déjà vu.
If I ever meet that person, I want to tell them thanks.
I'm not the only one who remembers.
I wonder who it was.
It must have been God.
Oh, well, thanks God. Mayuri's really happy.
Mayuri looks up. She reaches out to the sky like always. She shakes hands with the stardust, twinkling beyond a coat of blue. I look up too, to hold back the tears. And on we walk, hand in hand. Yeah, I guess what he meant in the end is that, like, there is no perfect ending to this story. Like, there'll always be something that has to be sacrificed, something that, you know, there's no perfect ending, and that's just something we have to accept. Now we have more CG we gotta find, but right now I want to find the clear list. Stardust Sky. There are still 2 more endings to this game. I'm guessing Kurisu and Moeka, that makes sense. I think one of the choices could come from maybe ignoring Mayuri's call when she called us on the rooftop, but I'm gonna have to experiment a bit and I'll figure it out. And well, thank you so much for watching. We're now a little over 80% through the game. Oh man, thanks for joining me on this adventure. Tune in next time when we go, and I think we try to find a way to save Kurisu. Have a still good day, take care and stay awesome. But most importantly everybody, stay dark. Goodbye.